Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NECA Dungeons & Dragons Zarak. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. All right, before we get started looking at the package, if you want to add Zarak to your collection and haven't done so already, you can get him right now over at Amazon, where he is in stock for a regular retail price and shipping now. Just keep in mind that if you use the link in the description below to go to Amazon and purchase this figure, that it will help out the channel with a few pennies. Now, getting that out of the way, we can see the front of the package here. It does say Evil Action Figures, has this nice, beautiful painting of Zarak on the front cover. Dungeons & Dragons Zarak Ultimate Action Figure, looking really, really cool. Taking a look at the side of the package here, we have a couple of beauty shots of the figure on each side, and then turning around here on the back, you can see the cross sell with Strongheart, who is his wave mate, and it says Zarak is an assassin without honor or conscience. The only thing he loves is money. He would never hesitate to stab allies in the back if they come between him and the riches he covets. When faced with multiple foes, Zarak prefers to hurl daggers from a distance, especially when targeting a lone individual, especially someone he has been hired to kill. He prefers the up-close and personal garrote, and so that he can hear the dying breath of his hapless prey. So is it garrote or garrote? I know that that's like a rope that you choke somebody with. So I don't know if they're meaning that to be like his grappling hook rope or something else completely, but he doesn't come with one. Anyway, that's the back of the package. It does have that nice window box. If you open up the front of the package, it's got some Velcro to hold it closed, and you can see everything he comes with. Speaking of his accessories, here's everything he comes with. It's a grappling hook, 2 daggers, his sword, an extra goofy little head, which I just absolutely love, a little bottle of poison, and then a bunch of different hands. Here's a closer look at the figure, just standing straight up and down right out of the package. You can see everything he comes with, as far as like everything that comes on his person, which is like the straps, the buckles, just everything about this figure is very well crafted, and I didn't think they would be able to pack so much like detail and storytelling in such a little figure, but man, they really nailed it. NECA just knocked this one out of the park, and he looks great. Flipping around here on the back, you can see that he does have some extra pouches for his little evil goodies that he keeps in his little packs there to do his evil deeds. He has a little hook on the back for his grappling hook, and that's about it, man. This figure just looks absolutely incredible. I love the detail on this little guy. Now, taking a closer look at his accessories, he does come with this golden sword here with some brown leather wraps around the handle, which looks really nice. I dig it. He does come with these 2 tiny little throwing daggers, which are also very well painted and sculpted with some gold on the hilt and pommel and leather straps around the handle, which looks really nice, and they fit nicely into his sheath on his chest. He does come with this nice little bottle of poison. It's got some little bubbles in there, and it looks like it has a little cork in the top, which it looks really cool. It does come with this really nice grappling hook, which I also love, and I love that it's painted to look metal, but it's plastic, and then it has like this really cool braided rope, which is really nice as well. I may end up burning the end of this rope so it doesn't start fraying and coming apart, but it looks like actual rope, which I really dig. And then you can roll it up like this, and he can either hold it in his hand all curled up like this, or you can tuck it away on the back of his belt, which is also really cool. He comes with a couple of different sets of hands here. He comes with a left and a right fist for pummeling his enemies to death. And then he also comes with a couple of gripping hands to hold like his sword, the bottle of potion, or poison. He, his little throwing daggers, whatever you want him to hold. He's got some nice hands for that. And I really like this hand right here because this is how I like to use this hand for the throwing daggers. And they're nice and rubbery too, so you don't have to worry about feeling like they're going to break or snap. And here's a closer look at that extra head he comes with. It looks to be pretty much the exact same head that's on the inside of the hood. It doesn't appear to be any different to me at all. I love the paintwork here, the subtle shades of green around the eyes, how it gets darker. Just that goofy little gaze upward, the little scar above his eye, the warts, just, man, this thing just looks great. And I bet you if you wanted to toss this on top of a Mythic Legions figure, it would probably work out great as well. I love the one that's inside the hood because he's, also looking up to where it looks like he's sort of like looking out from underneath his hood, and it just looks great. I love the evil little grin on his face, just looks incredible. NECA really just had fun with this figure and really outdid themselves. Look at the texture on that hood. It just looks great. It looks like a really thick wool. This nice little leather piece around his head is removable, and we're going to take that off in a minute. You can see the nice detail work on the pouches and the sheaths on his chest. So you just pop the head off, remove this. He has a little blue undershirt, which I think is nice. And then you can just pop this head on with or without the collar piece. And then this is what he kind of looks like without his, with all of his headgear off. I like the straps that run around. They have this cracked, worn leather look to them, which looks really nice. This is like a separate piece, but it is glued on, so it gives that dimension and weight, and has that that accurate look and style. But it is not removable. You can push these down in there. It is a really tight fit, and the blades are very thin, so you definitely want to be careful when doing so. But man, they fit in there and they look nice. I really like the way they slide in. It's just so much detail. Look at the pants, the detail on the pants and the wraps around the feet. And then you can also take that rope that we just rolled up, and you can put all of that right there on that hook. It hangs in there nicely, and he can keep all of his gear on him just like that, which looks really, really cool. So let's get this guy kitted out with probably some different hands here, and get some weapons in his hands and see how he looks. So let's go ahead and give him his sword. You see there that the hands are very rubbery, so you don't have to worry about trying to snap the fingers off or them breaking while you're, getting ready to, put any of his weapons or anything in his hands. Let's see here. Let's pop on a different hand here. Let's go with this one. And then we'll pull the knives out. Like I said, you want to be very careful when doing this because the blades are very, very thin. And you don't want to snap them. And you can kind of like squeeze these in between his fingers a little bit to where he's going to get ready to like throw some of these. I really want to see if I can. There you go. That looks pretty natural. I really like that. The hand sculpts are pretty great. And then let's pop this hand off and let's see how he looks with holding his poison. So we're going to go with that more open hand. And this looks really great. And also, like, you could use this potion for like Mythic Legions or any other 6-inch scale figure that you would like. I think it would work really nice. The lower fingers kind of get in the way, but you can get him holding it, and it looks pretty natural. It looks nice. I dig it. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to get some of his equipment off, because I know this is probably going to fall off while I'm trying to do this. But let's go over some articulation here. Let's see. Maybe we'll leave this head on while we go over articulation. He can look up that far, look down that far, which is quite a bit for such a little guy. And then let's pop this off. No, we'll do that in a second. His arms can go out about that far, so they can almost like 99% hit that T-pose. The arms can go all the way around if you need them to. They do have a hinge and swivel at the elbow. There you go. The joints are a little stiff. He does have the double jointed elbows, but even though they're double jointed because of all the fabric and everything, you're only going to get him to bend that far. He does have horizontal hinges and swivels at the wrist. He has a slight twist at the waist. There we go. It actually is moving. You want to move it. The articulation point is underneath his tunic. It's not a cut piece. His legs can go only forward about that far and only back about that far. It can go all the way out to the side about that far. The hinge, it is, is this double jointed? No, it's a single joint at the knee right there. You do have a swivel there as well. And then coming down here, you have no boot cut, but you do have a hinge and a nice pivot down for foot articulation. So that is the articulation there. Now let's go ahead and pop this off and put the, man, he is on there really hard. So let's go ahead and put the his collar piece back on and pop this head on just so you can see what he looks like. Looks very odd that way. To me, it just looks really weird. But we're going to go with this. We're going to pop this head back on if I can get it angled just right. Sometimes these ball pegs want to slip and slide on you and pop off to one side. It's a little difficult. There we go. Let's get that on. And as far as this, he can only look up about that far. As you would imagine, his hood and the collar piece really hinder most of the articulation on the head and neck area when he is fully kitted out like that. Now, before we get into some size comparisons, I did want to show off the old school LJN Zarak. I still have this from when I was a kid. You can see that blue hood, the way that the collar piece works, the dark colors, the red belts, the way his boots and pants are shaped, the red gloves. Even flipping around here on the back, you can see the pouches, the cross straps, even the rope is there. So paying attention to all the detail on the old original figure is just, it's absolutely incredible. And this is what this channel is all about, is updating old school figures I had when I was a kid and getting the new versions. All right, so let's do some size comparisons here and bring him in next to some other 6-inch scale figures. Starting off here, we're going to bring in, so War Duke and Strongheart from his, the current wave of Dungeons and Dragons figures. I don't have Grimsword. I never had Grimsword as a kid, and I'm not a big fan of his design, so I haven't picked him up and probably won't. So don't hate me for it. It's just my personal preference. And then we're going to bring in Luke Skywalker here from Black Series. You can see how he scales, even though Luke's a little small. Here he is next to Bilbo's Broken Shield from Mythic Legions, because I think a lot of people may want to see how he looks in the Mythic Legions line, maybe fit him in to their line. With some of their other small characters. And we're going to take a look at some of those smaller characters. Here we have Varg, the little vampire little person here, who I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite Mythic Legions figures. He's just so crazy looking. Here he is next to Kratos. And then let's see. Let's bring him in next to... let me grab another little guy from the Mythic Legions line. Here he is next to a one of my Bog Goblins. Or, I forgot, did I make this goblin? Or, gosh, I don't even know if I kit bashed this guy together or not. And then here he is next to Swig, who's another one of my favorite little figures in this line. So, let's get old Zarak here under some lighting and into some backdrops and see how he poses up. I gotta tell you, this is what this channel is all about. Updating old school figures to new modern collectibles. Whoever does that is tops on my list, and this guy just fits the bill, and he fits in with our channel description perfectly. Updating these old school figures and making them new and making them look great. This guy looks incredible. I love all the detail, all the storytelling they've packed into his character, and all the sculpting and all the detail that's on the body itself. I love all the little accessories that he comes with. He looks great. He fits in great with the line. You can throw him in with your Mythic Legions if you want to, and I just love this character, and I would love some more. I want more and more of this line. I know we're getting a dwarf, but I want even more. I hope this line goes for quite a while. So thank you, NECA, for making some of my childhood dreams come true. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.